Hello folks, welcome to our video for today. I'm just going to walk through a few miscellaneous things based on your questions and just kind of what's coming up. So I've received a few questions via email, which is fantastic. Thank you for sending those to me. Normally in a face-to-face class, I would start the class and end the class just to make sure that everyone was on the same page. Since we don't have that opportunity, email is a great way for you to all do that. So thank you very much for sending me your questions. It helps me to kind of keep an understanding of what's going well, what's confusing. It seems like you all like these daily videos, the reminders that are coming, but there's some things that are still a little bit uncertain, which is to be expected. I created on our Facebook page a post that you can comment on that just has questions. So if there's something that you are uncertain about, it's possible that a whole lot of other students are also uncertain about it. So if you add a question there, I'll answer that as there, and then that way everyone gets the benefit of having that question. So check that out on our Facebook page. And just as kind of something to keep in mind, we are now on our third week of class. As you know, during summer session, each day is a week of class, and so this is day 3, so third week. I'm very proud of you in terms of how things have gone so far, so let's keep it up. Just a couple notes on the Facebook and blog. Great work so far on that first thread on Facebook. I just really appreciate your thoughtfulness, your analysis, your critique. It's basically a classroom discussion, and that's exactly what I had hoped for. You'll see as I commented on that first prompt today to kind of close that off, but not to end the discussion, but just to kind of summarize in terms of definitions, and offered my definition. I remarked to a friend recently that how you all did on that was exactly what I had hoped for. There were somewhere around 30 comments for the 14 or so of you in the class, and that's really what I'm looking for. This is not something that I want people to do. One post, one comment, and move along. It's really about being an active participant on those discussion boards, so make sure that you're doing that. The second prompt for the week is up, and it's about credibility and our celebrity and media culture, so I think that one's pretty interesting. Should be able to find a lot of examples from that. Just a reminder that our first blog post is due tomorrow at 11:59 p.m., the end of the day, and refer to the video that I put up yesterday and some of the other resources that are up if you're confused about how to actually log in and create the blog. Just remember that the blog posts are in-depth analytical critique, and they're based on an example that you find from current events. So you're going to do an analysis essentially of that example or a set of examples, and make sure that you're adding links to those things, and see the example blog post that I put up on our blog. And let's try to focus on the Herrick first chapter for that. Most of our discussion so far has been on the Perloff textbook. The Herrick textbook is a little bit more rhetorical in nature, and so it allows us to focus on discourse. And so if you could try and give that a shot, that'd be great. If something really moves you and you think it fits better with one of the Perloff concepts, then that's fine as well. One of the questions that I received was about lectures that I had talked about putting up on Blackboard, and I'm not going to record lectures for each chapter. I just think that that's probably overkill, and I think that we can achieve a lot of those same things that we would get through a class, through discussion on Facebook and on the blog and through Twitter. And I don't lecture really anyway. If any of you have ever had a class from me, which I'm not sure any of you have, you probably wouldn't know this, but I'm very discussion based in my class, and so lecture is not something that is really consistent with my instructional style, nor do I think it's actually a useful learning tool for you all. It's very passive. So what I will do, however, is do two things. What's called a muddiest point, which I'll talk about in just a second, and then short little mini lecturettes to kind of clarify some of the more complex theoretical things. And I'll do it as a video just like what I'm doing now. The muddy points thing, I'm going to start a Facebook I'm going to post on Facebook, and you all can comment there. Muddy points are things that you're struggling with. So let's say that you're really struggling with the milligram experiments in chapter 6. And you say, I really am not getting this study on authority. Could you explain that? Then I will do a response to those muddiest points. So if there's something that you're struggling with in terms of the reading, then obviously let me know via the Facebook page, or you can do it via email, and I'll do kind of a little summary of that. Now, if it ends up that what happens is everyone posts one thing from the study guides, then I'll know, hey, this is not really what I had in mind. So hopefully that won't happen, and I don't think it will, but just to kind of keep that in mind. Those will actually appear where the reading guides are, or I'll create a new folder, but I'll let you know when that happens. And they'll always go up Thursday. So they'll always be up on Thursday. And lastly, I have had a couple questions about exams. Exams are available Thursday morning, so tomorrow morning, through Sunday at 11:59. They are all multiple choice. We'll do other forms of assessment, the Facebook page, blogging, that sort of stuff throughout the week. You'll get approximately a minute a question. That's kind of the general rule of thumb for how long in terms of what the assessment research says that you all need. So if there are really long questions, then I'll go up a little bit from that if there are really short questions. But generally speaking, 1 minute per question is about normal. And if you think about, if you have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday in-person class, and you come in and you have a 30-question test, then most of you are probably done well before the end of class, well before that 30 minutes, in fact. You must use Respondus Lockdown to take your test. So if you haven't downloaded that, check that out and make sure that you have that and it's functional. And I think that you want to use Firefox as the browser that you want to choose with Lockdown. It just seems like that's the one that works best. So those are exams. I view exams as learning exercises, not as simply recall. So the questions will mostly be application based. So the kind of analysis that you're doing on the blog, seeing the concepts in an example, that's really what I'm looking for. Not so much what's the definition of this word, what's the definition of this word. That's a very low level of learning, and we really want to get you to application and analysis of the concepts. Okay, so as I said, great job, very proud of how things are going so far, so keep up the good work, and obviously don't hesitate to email, ask questions via the Facebook page, contact me anytime. Have a good day.